Ernest, did you have a welcome to being a starting offensive tackle moment this year? A moment where something happened, you're like, all right, this is kind of what it takes, to be a starting offensive tackle.
Honestly, I'll say against Auburn, that was my first away game. Playing in the SEC in a big stadium like Jordan Hare. A lot of people say it's kind of difficult to play in there, and I experienced that on the first drive, and I've been able to hear the snap and stuff. So just little stuff like that, just the stuff you hear about from the other guys that you actually get to experience. So that was my moment for sure.
Ernest, I don't know if you remember, I had a chance to talk to you at St. John Bosco, feels like forever ago, 3 years ago. I think back then Ohio State was on your radar, and so much has changed. If you could reflect back to that guy in high school that I spoke to before your senior year and now, what's been some of the biggest changes you'd say in yourself as a football player and even as a young man?
I would say definitely maturing and just the kind of living off the DNA traits here with, connection, toughness, resiliency, and composure, all that stuff kind of finds a way to pop up in your everyday life. So, though I've just been living off those 4 traits in all aspects of my life. So it's been making everything a lot more easier since those days at Bosco.
Yeah, Ernest, we got a chance to talk to Coach Smart a little bit earlier. He mentioned you enrolling, I believe, at around 355 pounds, and by the time you took your first reps in spring, you were down to 320 pounds. So about 35 pounds of weight loss. So I'm curious, how'd you lose all that weight, and what is your advice to some of the young guys that might have to go through the same trend?
Well, I definitely knew in high school that I was going to have to drop that weight if I knew I wanted to be a player that I wanted to be. So my biggest thing was just substituting, no full sugar Powerades, no sodas, all that stuff, just drinking strictly water. I walk around with a gallon. And it's a way you can get your calories. You just got to be more efficient with your calories. So I would still have my nice snack, but my nice snack would be a Nutri-Grain bar and like an almond milk instead of like milk and cookies. So it was just little stuff like that that helped me just stay on that path and that track, and the weight just fell off fast and I knew it.
Everybody's been saying there's the same sort of feeling going into this as there were the last couple of years with the playoff looming ahead. Do you find that? Is it at all difficult to get motivated for this when you, obviously this team has played bigger games the last couple of years, and the disappointment you had coming off of Alabama?
Well, it's definitely not the ideal situation, but when I'm looking at guys like Cedric Van Pran, Xavier Truss, Marcus Rosenman, and knowing that we can send them off as the most winningest class in Georgia history, that sparks a fire, and I'm pretty sure everybody on this team. So just playing for that to give us a purpose to play for, and definitely got a spark.
Ernest, looking over this season, where do you feel like you've improved the most with your game?
I would say, honestly, communication. That was one of the biggest things, just being out there, communicating, echoing calls. Sometimes you see something, got to get it all the way down his head. So I would say that's one of the biggest things about being offensive lineman is really communication, echoing everything and all the calls, making sure everybody's on the same page. So I would say communication is one of the things I tried to improve myself on throughout the year.
Hey Ernest, Oscar was here a second ago. Well, asked about Carson Beck, coming back, and said a lot of the guys had kind of a feeling that was going to be the case. I wonder if you had any examples of maybe you perhaps knowing he was coming back, just how big was it, what kind of a lift was for the rest of the offense, the rest of the team when he made it official he's coming back for next year?
Oh, it's good. We got chemistry. That's my quarterback, and I'm the tackle, so my job is to protect him. So I know his tendencies in the pocket and everything, so it was good to just be comfortable and know we still got everything rolling going into next year.
You mentioned a couple of those seniors and the chance to get them to the winningest class. Florida State's had some opt-outs. Y'all haven't. What do you think the reasoning behind that is?
Honestly, I don't really pay too much attention to that. We just prepared to play whoever's out there, so we're really just looking forward to playing everybody in Florida State.
Kirby talked about, asked about signing so many players from out of state today and in past years that they go for the best player. As one of those people from way out of state, what was your experience? When did Georgia first get on your radar, and why? Why go on?
As far as why I wanted to come here, or well, I feel it's a pipeline, especially in my position. When they had offered me my sophomore year of high school, they sent Andrew Thomas and Isaiah Wilson in the first round. So if I want to do this and take this serious for myself, then that's the place to be at. Sure.
Quick question before I get to my real question. What kind of cookies and Powerade do you like?
Powerade, I like the white cherry, 0 sugar, and then the Nutri-Grain bars, I like the strawberry and the apple cinnamon. The apple cinnamon slept on a little bit, I feel like.
What did you learn going against a guy like Dallas Turner and some of the other good pass rushers this year about your own game?
Well, this is what you come to a school like this for. I knew that coming here, I wanted to compete, play the best, and I feel like I got an opportunity to do that this year. And it brings the best out yourself when you play against elite level guys like that every given Saturday.
There's always a lot of drama involved with recruiting, and this year was no different. I'm just wondering, as a player already here, do you follow it? Do you keep up with it? Did you follow how things went with these guys, and what did you think about how Georgia did?
Honestly, not really. I just wait for the guys to get here and roll who we got.
Yeah, you came in the same class as Gunnar Stockton. He's been elevated to the backup quarterback role. What have you seen from him as he's developed, not just in this backup role, but in his time at Georgia so far?
Gunnar, I like Gunnar. He stays level-headed, and as a quarterback, you got to take over and lead, and I feel like he does well with that. So, I like Gunnar. So, I'm happy for him to see that he's getting better, just like everybody else we got.
You talked about that development and learning opportunities going up against some of the edge rushers. Where do you feel like you still have to grow?
Well, I feel like nobody's perfect, so I like to improve my game in all aspects. So back to come board day one, just working on everything, trying to improve at everything.
Ernest, what have these bowl practices been like? Just what's where the energy been like getting ready for the Orange Bowl?
Oh yeah, they've had a lot of juice. Just flying around, having fun, making sure we bring the energy and juice to practice. Because like we said, we're trying to send the seniors out the right way. So personally speaking, like as a younger guy, I feel like I can only do right by sending them out right. Because when I first got here, they was the ones that was helping me, showing me the ropes. So I feel that it's only right for me to send them out the right way.
Yeah, Ernest, I think I saw an SEC story clip of Coach Smart talking to you and mentioning some of the effort clips that he had maybe shown you about Broderick Jones. What are some of the effort improvement areas or things that he's used to motivate you outside of just normal coaching?
Oh, well, definitely playing offensive line. A lot of offensive linemen aren't really running up and down the field like that. So especially on certain plays, that's coming to a school like this that has a full playbook that gives you plays to show off your athleticism. So when they do, take full advantage of it. So basically on the plays where, getting on the safety or getting on the corner or whatever, just get there as fast as you can and show people what you can do.
Got time for 2 more?
Ernest, there's been a few plays this year where you've been able to get out and hit a defensive back and make a few highlights. Just what are those moments like for you getting on a guy when you've got such a big size advantage, being able to take him out of the play?
Well, my dad used to tell me all the time when I was a young kid playing football, you don't run for no reason, especially as a lineman. So if I'm going to run all the way over there, it got to be for a reason.
Anything else? All right, thank you, Ernest.
Thanks, Ernest.